and you're scared. I was so scared to come out. I was very active in church then. I was a very staunch Catholic boy, and I spent all my afternoons in church, and I didn't want to. I couldn't imagine what it would mean if I was gay, and I would pray every day. I would go to church every day after school and pray that I won't be gay. That was how I actually led my teenage years. It was a very difficult time.
Despite being one of the most developed countries in the world, Singapore is one of 75 countries that still criminalize homosexuality. There seems to be a gap between the country's economic development and human rights development. In this video, we'll explore why such gap exists and where the Lion City is heading in terms of its future. Out of the 75 countries that criminalize homosexuality, roughly half are old British colonies and are using old British law. Singapore is but an exception. Section 377A of the Penal Code states that a gross indecency conduct between two male persons could result in up to 2 years in jail. It's a vaguely worded legislation, and even though Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong assured that the law would not be actively enforced, the presence of it still leaves Singapore in a difficult situation.
So because of 377A, which our government says they won't actively enforce, but because there's that law, the other codes, lower codes and regulations are written with regard to that law. So, for example, our subscription TV code and our free-to-air TV code, there's provisions in the codes which say that programming cannot glamorize or promote the homosexual lifestyle.
I always ask the question, how do you promote homosexuality? Do I give out flyers and say, please join us this evening at this, conversion workshop or what, right? What is promoting homosexuality? Is representing someone promoting someone? So if you're representing a person of a minority race, are you promoting that everybody should be of the minority race? When you're representing a criminal, are you promoting that everyone should become a criminal?
So because of that, if there are scenes in programs where there's a happy gay couple, then those scenes have to be cut. But if it's a sad gay couple, if it's like a crazy murderer, or if the queer gay man straightens out, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. So because of that, you have people of the older generation who don't understand what LGBTQ people are or what it's about, and they're very misinformed. So they tend to have a very negative view of gay people.
Which is why 377A has to be repealed in a matter of time, because as a legal function, it doesn't do anything except to perpetuate discrimination and stigmatization.
Because of an ethnically diverse population and the city-state's lack of history as a nation, the government has made efforts to forge one unified national identity, yet it is caught between conflicting ideologies. US-style individualism and state-promote Confucianism. As such, while courting international business and tourism on one hand, the government is constantly defending its social and legal policies that exclude its LGBT citizens on the other.
In the past 50 years or so, Singapore has grown incredibly, phenomenally in terms of economic progress and development, and that has been a very deliberate government policy. In terms of social development, social policies, social legislation, we haven't quite caught up, and I think this creates a lot of frustration.
Singapore is a multi-religious and multi-racial, multi-ethnic society, and we understand each other pretty well. I mean, my Muslim friends don't eat pork, but just because I eat pork, they don't discriminate against me, right? And are we able to reach that point for on this issue on LGBT rights, right? And I wonder.
I believe the answer is yes, judging by the recent development of the LGBT scenes in Singapore.
Another gay person whom you see in a gay bar, you would just do a knowing nod you don't go and hi, how are you? It's just annoying because you are with your colleagues. You don't you keep your private life very separate. Fast forward to 2015, and I see that gay couples are very much more comfortable. They don't stand so far from each other. They stand. You can tell they're a couple. Some even hold hands now.
And then growing up, after I start work, then I met a few successful lesbian couples. It's like, hey, they're not going to hell, and they don't have this chip on their shoulder, and they're not worried or depressed or alcoholic. So there are normal lesbians out there, and they're pretty much enjoying life. So why shouldn't I be like that? Why should I be perpetually depressed and worried?
In recent years, we are beginning to see accurate, positive portrayal of real LGBTQ people. We're not talking about the movies or TV drama and all that. Real people in Singapore, Singaporeans who are doing things in the community, not just for themselves but for other people as well. So that has been a slow, gradual change that we've been seeing.
Singapore's government has been building an information technology infrastructure to facilitate a knowledge-based economy since early 1990s. This effort has boosted the nation's economy and provided low-cost internet access for its people. According to World Bank in 2014, 82% of the population has access to internet. This is especially relevant to Singapore since it provides an alternate method of getting information on LGBT issues. Singaporeans are now flooded with independently produced digital content such as personal and community blogs, websites and interactive groups on social networking sites such as Facebook. Individuals in groups are also creating video archives on YouTube to document the history and the appropriate portrayal of LGBT in Singapore, as opposed to the unfavorable images created by mainstream media.
It is not all that conservative. There are very open-minded people in Singapore. There just isn't a platform for them to show their support.
Among the pro-gay rights platforms in Singapore, Pink Dot has been undoubtedly the most successful. The idea behind it is simple yet effective. Gather people, all dressed in pink, to form a giant pink dot to celebrate the notion that love transcends all, with the implicit goal of repealing 377A one day.
I remember the first time when I stepped into the park, I have never been in an open event, an openly gay event, and I think a lot of people who were there as well also haven't been to an openly gay event as well, and there was an atmosphere. It was very empowering. It was electrifying. It was empowering. It was liberating, and just taking that step into the park, it was just to a lot of us is actually taking a step towards affirming ourselves, affirming our sexuality, and saying that we are no longer ashamed and no longer scared to be who we are.
From only over 2,000 people at the first Pink Dot in 2009 to last year's attendance of 28,000, we can see a change that is gradually happening in Singapore.
We really have to remind ourselves that just because we've had this phenomenal economic growth in 50 years, it doesn't mean that the social progress will happen at the same pace as well. It will happen definitely within my lifetime and certainly within their lifetime, the current generation LGBTQ youth, just that it will be at a different pace. So it will happen. So that's my little note of optimism there. It will happen just at a different pace.
Things have changed so much just over these past 5-10 years. So this continues to give me hope that we'll get there.